You know, we sit here in 3D going, I'm totally sure I know how the universe works. Oh, speaking of the universe and how it works and people knowing it, have you noticed how intelligent people question pretty much everything, but morons are absolutely certain about everything? Have you noticed this? So it is with the flat earth people. I got to tell you, I'm delighted to announce that one of those people who believes the earth is flat, no one has believed the earth to be flat since about 300 Anno Domini. What these people do. I've actually been threatened with deoth. Yes, John B. Wells has received a death threat because I think the flat earth is rubbish. So I'm going to tell you something right now. You sit there and type with your pudgy little, shall we say, oily little middle fingers typing away. You know, when you go into the internet thing, it's the same thing as walking into a crowd. Depends on what city you're in. Depends on what crowd you're walking into, but you're liable to come across some very, very nasty people who don't like the way you look. They don't like the way you dress. They don't like how you talk. They don't like the things you talk about. And so it is with the internet. Because any SOB can get a hold of a computer terminal and start spewing vitriol, to put it in a civilized manner, but it's really more like sewage, using really crude, coarse, and otherwise base combinations of profane words, as if this is going to make some sort of an impression on anybody. Well, it does. You identify yourself as a borderline subhuman moron when you do this, instead of just stating your thoughts rationally. So I want to tell you flat earth people something right now. I'm going to, sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. You ever heard of, but, thanks, Jim. I needed that. Yeah? Well, I'm going to give you a loving slap. But I'm going to tell you something. Nut up, man, and show us that you've got the cojones to talk about the flat earth. You idiot. Who do you think you're talking to? I have more intelligence in my left pinky fingernail than you have in your whole damn body, squared or even cubed. I'm coming for you, flat earthers. I'm going to destroy your ridiculous little paradigm. It's so easy. It's almost like being tormented by a gerbil. It's so easy to just, do away with it. Yet, I will do this from a logical, rational, scientific, and highly intellectual platform. Now, some of you will not understand me. But the fact that you do not understand does not make me stupid. It makes you unable to understand. So we're going to very carefully spoon feed it to you. And by the time it's all over with, now I'm having a little fun with this, but I'm going to tell you something. And I'm serious about the death threat. I'll bring it. Just bring it. I would suggest a really dark alley from behind, or it will not go well for you. And if you go to jail, which you will, then my family's really going to have some fun with you. So keep that in mind before you issue any more threats. Payback can be just absolutely awful. You don't want that. Besides, it's the start of a new year. But here's the thing. This is a psyop, people, and nothing but. What makes you think that logistically you're being measured for your strong support of the flat earth theory? Everything is a lie. They won't tell us the truth. The astronauts are bogus. NASA's bogus. Satellites do not exist. Well, why is it my XM radio drops off the scope the moment that there's some heavy cloud cover to the south? Why does the drain swirl one way in the northern hemisphere going down the bathtub drain and the other way in the southern hemisphere? Well, it's because it tilts on its side and becomes like a plate, like the moon is a plate. No. I mean, seriously, contemplate this for a minute. Let's just assume for the moment, and I do, that you're completely wrong about this. Can you imagine the delight of the people who are pushing this nonsense out there and how willing you are to go for it? It's beyond belief. Now, that said, it wouldn't make any difference if the earth was actually shaped like a star, a pentagram if you like, or maybe a six-pointed star like the Jews have. Make it a seven-pointed star like the U.S. Marshals used to have. What difference does it make in your life if it's flat, round, triangular, or heart-shaped? Answer: nothing. Now, this smart aleck gets on there in his little YouTube video. Oh, I'm going to crucify you, dude. I really am. I'm sorry, but you're a masochist, obviously, or you wouldn't have taken me on to begin with. Called me Johnny Boy. Oh, really? Oh, that was really cute. Okay, you're first. You're first on my list, okay? If you built a road straight, by the time you went to the horizon, there'd be a drop of 7,000 feet. Oh. I'll give you a hint. The surface of the earth is not completely flat and smooth. As pilots, we have this thing called AGL and we have MSL. AGL means above ground level. MSL means mean sea level. Now, at a local airport here, call it Addison. You're at 600 feet above sea level. Is that a lie, too? No, it's not. When I flew to L.A. and I got out there around Arizona, my altimeter said 12,500. But I was at almost 6,500 feet above sea level. So I was only a little over 6,000 feet above the ground. But you don't get that. But you will. I promise. Why don't we take ourselves a little break, and then let's get with Paul Preston, and let's get with Mark Beard, if he's available as well. I believe he is. Yeah, he is. Both on the line. Now, I'm serious, flat earthers. I'm coming for you. And when it's over, you're going to feel a lot better. Not about being shown to be wrong. It's going to raise your awareness of what a put-on this has been, and you were the victim. People claim they want truth, but do they want truth? Well, some truth, but not all truth. And the one truth that you really don't want is to be shown that you're wrong, that you've been duped, that you've been lied to, and you've been used as a tool to spread the lie. I am John B. Wells. This is Arc Midnight, and we shall return. Let's just crack on, shall we?
All right, Johnny boy, you want it, you got it. I'm about to destroy every single one of your pitiful, piss-poor arguments yet again. Here it is, round 2, John B. Wells versus Flat Earth Asshole. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Why does the drain swirl one way in the northern hemisphere going down the bathtub drain and the other way in the southern hemisphere?
Wow. If you're going to debate with me, Johnny boy, you're going to have to do a whole lot better than water going down the drain in different directions and opposite hemispheres. Don't you know that's a wives' tale? You're going to come at me with an old wives' tale that a school child could debunk? The reason the water goes down in different directions, and it doesn't matter which hemisphere, is it comes down to the angle at which the water enters the basin and the shape of the basin. The angle at which the water enters the basin and the shape of the basin will determine the direction in which the water will go down the drain. All right? This whole wives' tale that people bring up has been debunked years and years and years ago. It's a wives' tale, John. You're going to show up to this debate with water going down a drain? This is like shooting fish in a barrel. The direction at which I pour the water into the drain and the shape of the basin are going to affect how it's going to go down the drain, and it's not going to matter which hemisphere I'm on. All right? This is clearly child's play. Are you even serious right now? Look at this video. Clearly, anyone with a sink at home, with a faucet that you can move around, can perform this themselves and find out that the water, it will go down in different directions. So this is no way to prove a globular or a flat earth.
If you built a road straight, by the time you went to the horizon, there'd be a drop of 7,000 feet. Oh. I'll give you a hint. The surface of the earth is not completely flat and smooth.
Yeah, and that's what's so awesome about this example, Johnny, is the bridge is built over water. so we don't have to worry about mountains and hills. Yeah, the earth isn't completely flat and smooth. I never said it was. I said the longest bridge in the world in China is 102.4 miles long, and at that distance, we should see nearly a 7,000-foot drop in curvature, but we don't, proving that the earth is flat. The natural physics of water is to find and maintain its level. When we go out and try to find any curvature in the water, we don't find any, which is why they call it sea level. They don't call it the sea curve. So again, if the Earth is a ball or an oblate spheroid and is 25,000 miles in circumference, then the surface of all standing water must have a certain degree of convexity. Every part must be an arc of a circle. So going back to my original point, the longest bridge in the world in China stands 102.4 miles long. Now, according to the scientific accepted curvature chart, this isn't the math that I made up. This is your ball earth math here. According to your math that your side made up, we should see a 6,990-foot drop in curvature, and we just don't see it. Now, some people wonder, how does this math work? Again, this is the Pythagorean proof of curvature. You can look this up. Anyone can find this chart. And it'll show you the breakdown, mile by mile, how much curvature there is supposed to be. Supposed to be. So what I recommend is anyone who wants to debunk the flat earth or debunk the spinning ball, go out and try to measure this curvature and see what happens. Now, they say it drops at 8 inches per mile when you square the mile. A lot of people get this mixed up and they don't understand and they think it's 8 inches per mile. No, it's 8 inches per mile when you square the mile. If you don't square the mile, you're going to end up with a slope. 8 inches per mile every mile would give you a slope. So here's the math broken down completely. So for the first mile, you would go 1 times 1, because it's only 1 mile, times 8 equals 8 inches. Now for the second mile, you would go 2 times 2 times 8 equals 32 inches. For the third mile, you would of course go 3 times 3, which is 9, times 8, which makes 72. Now when you get these large numbers of inches, what you want to do is then convert them to feet. You would just simply divide the number of inches by 12 to convert to feet. So 72 inches divided by 12 would then give you 6 feet. So at 3 miles, we should see 6 feet of curvature drop. So that's how the math works if you break it down step by step. All right, our first example is Lake Pontchartrain Bridge, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, I'm probably not, but this is in Louisiana and it's 23.8 miles long. 23.8 miles of steel flat as a level when viewed from the twin spans east of it. For a ball 25,000 miles in circumference, it must have 377 feet of curvature drop. As you can see, it is flat and level. Now let's go back to the bridge in China. Here's how the math breaks down. 102.4 times 102.4 times 8 divided by 12. That's going to give you 6,990 feet of curvature drop. That is the longest bridge in the world, and it's 7,000-foot curvature drop. It's obvious that it's not there. This is one of the best proofs that the earth is flat.
It wouldn't make any difference if the earth was actually shaped like a star, a pentagram if you like, or maybe a 6-pointed star like the Jews have. Make it a 7-pointed star like the U.S. Marshals used to have. What difference does it make in your life if it's flat, round, triangular, or heart-shaped? Answer: nothing.
Yeah, well, I despise your answer. And in fact, it's not an answer, it's a cop-out. It makes all the difference in the world. I get asked this every single day. What difference does it make? This comes from somebody who's never done any research and you're trying to wonder what the motive is. If you looked into it, it would hit you like a ton of bricks. There may be more land. You think more land would be worth hiding from us? Commodity? Do you know what happened when people found out there was this whole other continent that they could sail to and set up shop? Take as much land as they want? Yeah, what if there was a whole nother world out there? What if there were several other worlds, several other continents that we could go to, stake out a new claim of our own? What if there's people on those other continents that don't know that we exist? It shatters everything we were ever taught if this is true, John. What if resources are plentiful? Oil, gold, silver, you name it. What if every resource you can think of is plentiful, damn near infinite, because there are other worlds, there are other continents? It would make all the difference in the world, John. And you seem to be a believer in a higher power, in a creator. What if there's a dome over your head? Or a firmament? It would actually confirm some of what the Bible says. If there is indeed some sort of a firmament or a dome, we could be living in an actual Truman Show of some sort. I'm not saying I have proof of this. I'm not saying anyone really does. I'm just saying it might be up there. We might be in an enclosed system. Wouldn't that make a difference? I think it would make a huge difference. Everyone would know that the Big Bang is bullshit. The Big Bang can't create a flat world in the first place. And if you're inside of an enclosed system, that would definitely prove intelligent design and that we are created and that the world is special, one of a kind, and we aren't a random accident. And the fact that they would lie about something like that, that would mean that they would lie about it to steal our spirituality, steal our creator. That way men in white lab coats, scientists if you will, can become your God because you deem them smarter than you. So you take their word as truth because they're smarter than you, so they must know how the world was created. They know a whole lot more than you because they went to school and they learned so much more. So you deem them your God. Now you listen here, Johnny boy, and you listen good. You claim to be wise, and you have become a fool. Any person who takes 10 minutes to look into the moon landing hoax will find out beyond a shadow of a doubt it, yes, indeed, was a hoax. We never landed on the moon. The lunar module is a homeless tweaker's shelter. It definitely did not land on the moon. Take a good look at it. Have you never seen the lunar module before, John? You should take a look at it sometime. Take a look at the evidence. Somehow, the 10,000-pound lunar module doesn't leave an impression on the moon, and there's no dust that settles on the boot of the lunar module. But somehow, an astronaut weighing maybe a couple hundred pounds, he leaves a footprint, a nice, perfect footprint that we take a picture of. But the lunar module weighing 10,000 pounds doesn't leave anything, not a single mark, no dust on the boot. Who took a picture of the lunar module from the moon as it landed? Who took a picture of the lunar module from the moon as it left? Oh, it was a robot camera. And the robot camera sent back the video 238,000 miles from the moon. Yeah, and then President Nixon talked to the astronauts on the phone from the White House. Yeah, he talked to them on the moon. Yeah, okay. But when I go through a tunnel, I lose signal on my cell phone. Okay, sure. Hey, you know what's so awesome is we have these telescopes and we can look at the moon and see so damn close to the moon. But you know what you can't see? You can't see the United States flag on the moon. You can't see any of the equipment that we landed on the moon with any telescope. But you can zoom in on the moon really damn close with a Nikon P900. You can take a Nikon P900 or your home telescope and zoom in and get awesome views of the moon. You would think that with these NASA telescopes, they should be able to zoom right in on the American flag, zoom in on all the shit we left up there when we went to the moon in the late 60s and early 70s, right? We should be able to zoom in on that perfectly, right? With all these satellites? No, not one picture of any of our shit lying around up there. It's because it's not there, people. We never went to the moon. And anyone who can't figure this out is blind. Look into the moon landing hoax. So what am I getting at? If they never went to the moon, they never went anywhere else in space. They've been giving us CGI and cartoon pictures of the Earth ever since. If they can't go up and take a picture of the Earth as a ball because it doesn't exist, they have to hire artists to create the Earth on a computer. And that's exactly what they've done. They'll even admit to you that they don't have any real images of the Earth and that they're all composites, and they'll tell you they have ribbons of imagery that they have to stitch together in Photoshop. They'll admit, it is Photoshop, but it has to be. That's right, people. Your world as a ball is Photoshopped. Computer-generated images. Cartoons. No one has ever seen the Earth as a ball. You've only seen it in pictures because it doesn't exist. So while they've been showing us these computer-generated images, and before CGI was invented, they were just simply taking phony photographs through a round window from up really high, adding in some painting. Ever since the invention of a camera, we've had phony photographs. So anyone who says, oh, well, CGI wasn't invented yet when they went to the moon. Yeah, well, they still had phony photographs. Phony photographs have been around since the invention of a camera. They went up, shoved the camera up against a round window, and snapped the shot. So they've been stealing our money via our tax dollars. Billions annually and trillions since NASA's inception. And if you aren't American and you say, hey, they don't steal my money, well, if your country has a space program, they're stealing your money. The other space programs, yes, they have figured it out. You can pump out CGI and fake pictures and collect tax dollars. They're in on it too. Yes, anyone participating in fake space exploration is stealing your money, committing fraud. They're lying to you. For whatever the reason, they are lying to you. I don't know about you, but I don't like being lied to, and I don't like being deceived. And that is exactly what's going on. So when John B. Wells says, oh, it doesn't make any difference, none whatsoever, he's full of shit. It makes all the difference in the world if they're stealing your money. Even if they aren't stealing your money, they're lying to you. Do you like being deceived? Because I sure as hell don't. So between the fact that they're lying to us about the shape of the Earth and the fact that there might be more land, there might be a dome, firmament, or enclosure over our head, they sure as fuck are stealing our money. Yeah, between all that, John, I think they might have something to gain. Hiding our God, hiding our true spirituality, it's huge. It's how you control a human being. It's how you control their mind and their thought process. I hope you wake up, John. I hope you look into what I'm saying. Well, once again, Johnny boy, I destroyed every single one of your regurgitated, garbage, tired-ass arguments. And it was easy. It was child's play. You're coming at me with a wives' tale about water going down a drain in different hemispheres? Dude, you are light years behind me. In fact, I accept your challenge because it's not even a challenge. If you would like to debate me live, I'll come on your show. You can come on my channel. We can do a simulcast. We'll both put it on live for our audience to hear. I'd love to do this in person, but chances are you're too chicken shit to ever have me on your show. Because I would make you look foolish, Johnny boy. Just like I already have. Just look at the numbers on the video that I did the first time against you. Look at the video right now that I'm doing against you. Look at the numbers. Look at the likes to dislikes ratio. Look what people are saying about you. This is going to hurt you, John. This is going to destroy your credibility. Two things can happen. You are A, going to become a flat earther, which will be awesome. And if you do, I'm totally going to welcome you with open arms. I will shake your hand, say, welcome, John. You're a flat earther now. I'll take back everything I said. We'll make nice. Now that could be an option, that I flatten you. Or you could cling to the ball, which you probably will do. Cling to the ball because you're experiencing a high level of cognitive dissonance. Yes, that's right. Cognitive dissonance. That's what John B. Wells is experiencing right now at an extreme level. And he might just cling to that ball and never let go. And he might just destroy himself in the process. So those are your two options, John. You're either going to prove yourself wrong and become a flat earther, or you're going to destroy yourself in the process. The only way to win is accept the truth. The earth is flat, and you can't change that. Now, back to the challenge. You want to take me on? Bring it on. And don't even try to duck me and bring in some other flat earther. Bring in some straw man that you can take out and say, oh, well, flat earth asshole couldn't be here today, so instead I'm going to bring in this other flat earther. Nah, don't try any shit with me, pal. Bring me on your show, or you can come on my channel, or we'll do a simulcast. I really don't care. Either way, if you debate me, I will destroy you. Just like I already have. I've made you look foolish. And I will do it again. And again and again and again. Until you become a flat earther. Or you destroy yourself. The choice is yours, John. You want this? Bring it. Bring it on. I'm calling you out. I'm calling you a coward. If you don't accept my challenge, you, sir, are a damn coward. You're either a paid liar or you're an indoctrinated buffoon. Which is it, John? Are you a paid liar or are you just an indoctrinated buffoon who refuses to do any real research? This is the flat earth asshole. And I accept all challenges, all comers. Do you think the earth is a ball and you want to attack the flat earth? You want to put the flat earth in your mouth with negativity? You better believe I'm coming for you. I've got a list. You're not the last one on my list, John. There are others. You better believe I'm coming for you. Flat earth asshole will not be stopped. The flat earth movement will not be stopped. The flat earth message will not be stopped. The earth is flat. And once you go flat, you will never go back. Jack.